This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we put the spotlight on Shenandoah and their annual Heritage Day. Check out the sights and sounds next. Welcome to another week of FYI on SSPTV and SSPTV.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. We appreciate it. I'm Ken Carr, and I speak for everyone here. And now your Monday headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. State lawmakers are headed back to Harrisburg tomorrow in hopes of approving funding for schools and nonprofit organizations. State Representative Tara Toohill says the goal is to have lawmakers from both sides of the aisle approve line item veto overrides.
So what we're doing now is tomorrow we're going back to the Capitol and we're going to vote again, and we're bringing up the line items. So we have, say, for disability services, Hazleton education budget, all the education budgets, basic ed, special education, those line items, we're going to bring them back up tomorrow because we do have a larger majority of Republicans in the House. So we're hoping that we can bring up those line items one by one and vote on them. And we're asking our Democratic colleagues on the other side of the aisle that they would vote with us and just get the schools funded, get that out of the way, the nonprofit agencies, all those organizations that are helping with human services, helping people that are needy, disabled, people that don't have food, our senior citizens. All of those items need to be funded.
Toohill stressed that the state did pass a budget on June 30th as mandated by law. However, that budget was vetoed by Governor Tom Wolf. Tomorrow's effort will be an attempt to override the veto for line items related to schools and nonprofit organizations. Hazleton police are investigating two incidents that happened last night, each involving shots fired. The first happened around 6:12 p.m. at the intersection of West Spruce and North Vine Streets. Police say witnesses observed a white-colored sedan and a white cargo van firing shots at one another. Then around 8 p.m., police responded to the intersection of West 5th Street and North Sherman Court. Witnesses saw a man exit a black SUV, fire shots, and then flee in the SUV. Anyone with information on either incident is asked to call Hazleton Police or dial 911. All information will be kept confidential. A historical marker was dedicated Saturday to officially mark the site of the Shepton mine disaster. The marker commemorates the rescue of miners David Felon and Henry Throne, who were trapped 320 feet underground in 1963. The marker stands near the site where a third miner, Louis Bova, remains entombed. John Bova, the son of the lost miner, was on hand for the ceremony Saturday, along with Ron Sando, a member of the rescue team. More than 50 people came out for the unveiling along Schoolhouse Road in Shepton. It was another successful ice bucket challenge at Eagle Rock Resort. For the second year, they raised a bunch of money for the ALS Association Greater Philadelphia chapter. Last year, the Eagle Rock community jumped to help Tom Raymond and who has ALS, and his wife Ginny, who's his caretaker. Last week on FYI, Ginny told us how much the ALS Association Greater Hazleton chapter helps them, and we spoke with a nurse coordinator at the association at this year's event.
Eagle Rock, the Raymond family, and all of their friends came together to raise over $4,000. That's a crazy amount of money. The money will stay locally to provide support services to all the families living in Northeast PA, as well as go towards research so we can find a cure for this disease.
The total Eagle Rock raised is now up to $5,000, and you still have time to take the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge and donate some funds to the ALS Association. The challenge runs for the whole month of August. For more information, go to alsa.org. The community of Shenandoah was the place to be on Saturday as people from all over took part in the 17th Annual Heritage Day. The event celebrates the ethnic diversity of Shenandoah. Here are some of the highlights, courtesy of videographer Leo Perong.
This is the 17th Annual Heritage Day Parade. The parade is actually in its 16th year. Heritage Day Festival is in its 17th year. This started back with the Historical Society. They originally started because the president of the Historical Society was Valerie McDonald, and she was so in awe of Shenandoah. She's not from Shenandoah, she was from Brooklyn. She passed away last year. She she felt that something needed to be done to celebrate Shenandoah's ethnicity. So she created, or the Historical Society created, Heritage Day, the festival. The following year they thought they needed to do something else, so they also had the parade. And the parade was with contingents, and I think the first time the contingents were only like maybe 10. They were dressed in ethnic costumes. This year, in the 7th and 16th year of the parade, we are actually up to 21 in costume with music. I mean, it's a great celebration for the town. It's a sense of community. It just brings everybody together.
I have marched with the Slovak contingent of the parade. Myself and my family, we enjoy it so much. It's wonderful to see all of the different contingents marching. In our parade for the past 10 years, we have had a DSI float representing the entire United States, or all of Shenandoah. And we have it titled actually Shenandoah, Home to the World. And throughout the years, we have created small, about 3-foot tall characters from each ethnic group. I think a crowd favorite is the Mexican contingent, because we have girls in ethnic costumes and they will stop often, every so often along the parade route to dance. And they've done the Mexican hat dance in the past, and the crowd just loves it, absolutely loves it. I love it because it shows how Shenandoah is kind of like the United States, a melting pot. We have so many different people from ethnic backgrounds that live here now.
Okay, I am Sister Marietta. I am from Poland, but I am in Shenandoah for 9 years. And next to me is Jerry. She is from Alvernia University. She loves our community. We have a Polish roots. So she loves us, so she came to participate with us today. Most ladies nearby Krakow will wear this kind of costume, so it's actually original.
We are at Heritage Day, celebrating all the heritage here in Shenandoah. This is actually our 13th year that we've been here. We have authentic Mexican food. We have homemade tamales, taquitos, soft tacos, nachos, crispy tacos, empanadas, tostadas, quesadillas. All our food is homemade. People love it. We've been open 10 years now, and it's just great.
So next year's Heritage Day will be even bigger. It'll be the culmination of our 150th town anniversary, our sesquicentennial. So we did have some Sesqui bells marching this year in getting ready for next year's event, to let people know in preparation.
Thanks a lot, Leo, and I'll have to watch the rebroadcast because honestly the last 40 seconds all I thought about was the food that was probably at that festival. Well, coming up next, our weekly Monday workout at Core Fitness in Hazleton, and later we talk strategy with Penn State Hazleton's men's soccer coach Jesse Shadle.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Hi, it's Monday. I'm Christy. Welcome back to Core Fitness. I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite people in the world, my beautiful sister, Nicole. And the reason that she's here today is because we're going to talk a little bit about bariatric surgery and what it really entails, and success story, which she absolutely is, and exercise afterward. So my sister is the middle of 3, and we were always extremely active when we were little, but Nikki always had a little bit more of an issue keeping weight off. And last year she decided to change, 2 years ago, she decided to do something that would change her life and her family's life forever. So why don't you tell us about it, Nick?
So 2 years ago, May 15th, I had sleeve bariatric surgery. So it was in Allentown. Dr. Borst, hi Dr. Borst, did an awesome job. And yeah, my whole life, like Christy said, we were very active. And I just decided that it was time to take hold of my eating habits. And it was a year out before I actually had the surgery, so there was a bunch of classes and education, and
So it's not something that everyone can just jump into and decide, I'm a little bit overweight and I can have it done. The criteria is that you're either 100 pounds over your ideal weight, or that you're more than 40% of your body mass index, or more than 35% with health implications such as diabetes, respiratory issues, like that. And
yeah, it depends on the surgeon and your insurance.
And Nicole didn't, take this lightheartedly. She looked up on the doctor, she read up about it, and it really just was the best decision for her. And I'm so proud of her to say that she has accomplished this. It's a lifestyle change. It's not something that's going to fix what she had, what she had done is not going to fix the obesity problem, because it is a battle for her. She had to change her entire lifestyle. I see it in the way that she eats, the way that she cooks for her family, but she's extremely active. She's one of the best instructors that we have here at CORE. She's a kick butt spinning instructor and just about everything else she can do. So how do you feel like it changed you?
I actually haven't felt this good since I was a teenager, and I have so much more energy and just a more positive outlook on life, and I just feel like I'm stronger for my kids, and it's just the most important thing.
So if that's something that you feel is right for you, definitely do your research on it, look up on your doctors, see the different types of bariatric surgery that are available out there, and you could have a success story too. See you next Monday.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
We've had a string of great days in our area. Let's see if I just jinxed us. Here's our local weather forecast from the National Weather Service. 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms before midnight Monday night, then a slight chance of showers between midnight and 2 a.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 61. On Tuesday, it will be mostly sunny with a high near 74 degrees at night, mostly clear, low in the mid 50s. Wednesday will be mostly sunny. We'll get up to 74. Wednesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 53. For our Thursday, another mostly sunny day with a high near 72. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 52. And then on Friday, sunny with a high near 75. And Friday night, mostly clear with a low of 53. I don't think I jinxed us.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazelton. Treat yourself today.
Here's the green screen. It's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers on FYI. Pick 295, pick 3 729, pick 4 2590, and pick 5 61087. Lottery numbers on FYI brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency, with 2 locations to serve you, one in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue and the other one in Nescopec on Broad Street. You can call Boyer Insurance in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescopec at 570-752-7683. We talk IndyCar racing and soccer next in the Sportscast.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Ryan Hunter-Reay took the checkered flag at Pocono on Sunday, winning the ABC Supply 500 IndyCar race, but everyone's attention is on Justin Wilson, who suffered a serious injury during the race. Wilson suffered a severe head injury and was flown from the racetrack. According to the last release from IndyCar around 1 o'clock Monday afternoon, Wilson was in a coma and in critical condition at Lehigh Valley Health Network Hospital Cedar Crest in Allentown. Here's what race winner Ryan Hunter-Reay had to say after his victory.
It is unbelievable to get this number 28 DHL Honda back in victory lane. First and foremost, we're thinking about Justin Wilson, great friend of mine, great friend of all of ours, teammate, and our families are close. You know, he's got 2 daughters at home and 2 kids at home, so it's close to home. So I'm really thinking about him, and I can only imagine, you know, with a nose cone hitting him in the head. I knew it wasn't good when everybody was surrounding him there, surrounding his car, but yeah, it's that's what's on all of our minds.
IndyCar says they will post updates on Wilson's condition as they become available. Our thoughts and prayers here at SSPTV go out to Wilson and his family as well. Let's switch gears now and talk soccer. Here's an interview I recorded with Penn State Hazelton men's soccer coach Jesse Shadle. And Coach, I wanted to give you kind of a scenario as we start things out here. So, okay, you're in a 4-4-2 formation, and one of your guys gets a red card. He's a defender, and you guys are up 1-0 with like 15 minutes to play. So now, if you're not familiar with soccer, so you have 10 men to play with, you lose one of your defenders. What do you do in that kind of situation? What are you telling your guys?
Well, I think you have to see how the game has gone thus far. I think it's very important to understand where your team is, how your team functions. I would think most coaches, their natural reaction is going to say, let's put a couple guys behind the ball and pack it in. A lot of people call that parking the bus, as the professional team Chelsea likes to do. I'd have to feel it out, but I'd like to say that we'd be confident in having 3 defenders at the back and continuing to press the attack going forward.
That's interesting, because I was going to ask. I'd be like, bunker in, but I guess, hey, if the attack is there, take it. Now, you played at Penn State Hazleton. I'm assuming you played in high school as well, but you really enjoyed it. We did an interview with Jesse last year, and you described yourself, you were a defender sweeper, so really the last line of defense before the goalie, and you said you were a very vicious and very intelligent player. Explain that a little bit more, and I guess you need that aggression in that spot.
Yeah, you really do. The last line of defense, I mean, there's nothing behind you except for the goalkeeper. I think it's super important to be mentally prepared for every game. I'm a student of the game, so any game I can watch, I can study, I do that. So as a sweeper, as a defender, it was super important for me to be knowledgeable of scenarios and situations that could occur. So being vicious was not necessarily an attitude thing. It was something that I needed to be aggressive and prepared at all times. So that's kind of how I was.
Now, you said you were very passionate, and soccer is a unique sport where you kind of interact with the referee every maybe now and then. You said you had to put that in check a little bit more when you were a coach. Talk about making that transition from player to coach.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, it's just natural. I don't know why, but it's natural to just kind of chirp into the referee's ear. Hey, sir, watch this, or ma'am, can you keep an eye on that? And as a player, you do it a little bit more than you do as a coach. When I took over as a coach and the assistant coach in 2011 at Penn State Hazleton, I learned quickly that my job was not to chirp in the official's ear anymore. It was more along the lines of making sure my players were protected, speaking to them before the game, speaking to them at halftime and things like that, and then letting them control the game otherwise.
When you hit the recruiting trail, you're looking for players. What do you look for? Is it that passion? Is it maybe different in every player? But what's an ideal player that you're really looking for?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I think the most important things that I look for is I look for a good person, first of all. It's super important for us at Penn State Hazleton to have good student athletes, with the key there being student first. And that's something that I really focus on. There's been many recruits that I've met with that have been phenomenal soccer players, and then their grades maybe aren't the best. That's not somebody that I'm going to chase down heavily, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell them that I don't want them to join the team. So it was very important to me as a coach to look for good people, that have good morals, that I know aren't going to cause problems. They're not going to be an issue on the team, that kind of thing.
See what Coach has to say about the 2015 season on our Facebook page. See what Ron Marchetti has to say on this Monday right now.
How about those PA boys last night in Williamsport at the Little League World Series? Great game, one of the best I've ever seen, Little League. It's Monday, August 24th. This is Trivia Treats. Hi, everybody. Cal Ripken Jr. is 55 today. Reggie Miller is 50, and Carl Yastrzemski will hit 76 tomorrow. On this very day in 1945, exactly 70 years, only 2 days after being discharged by the Navy, Bob Feller pitched his first major league game since 1941, and he struck out 12 to lead the Indians to a 4-2 win over the Tigers before a crowd of 46,477 at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. Feller pitched a complete game four-hitter. He had enlisted in the Navy on December 9, 1941, 2 days after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor. Earlier that day, a few hours before he pitched, a civic luncheon was held in Feller's honor at Cleveland's Hotel Carter. He was presented with one of the first Jeeps to come off the assembly line for civilian use since the start of the war. Among the presenters were former Cleveland baseball greats Cy Young and Tris Speaker. Also on this day in 1961, 50 54 years ago, the San Francisco Giants tied a record for the most home runs in an inning with 5 during a 12-run ninth that capped off a 14-0 whitewash of the Reds at Crosley Field in Cincinnati. The dingers were struck by Orlando Cepeda, Felipe Alou, Jim Davenport, Willie Mays, and John Orsino. Finally, 23 years ago tomorrow, in 1992, playing at home for the first time in nearly a month, the Astros lost 5-3 in 13 to the Cardinals. The Astrodome was used for the Republican Party's National Convention, which forced the club to play 26 consecutive games on the road to Atlanta, Cincinnati, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Chicago, St. Louis, and Philadelphia. Mother of God. Till Friday, be a good sport and stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Annunciation Parish at the Church of St. Gabriel, 122 South Wyoming Street in Hazleton, will be holding a Life in the Spirit presentation to be held for 7 Fridays, September 11th through October 30th. There is no charge for this course, which will be held in the church basement from 7 to 9 p.m., and it's designed to fan the flame of Catholic faith. To register or for info, just call 570-454-0212. Our next announcement, the 16th Annual Keystone State Hot and Stinky Garlic and Herb Festival will be held Saturday, August 29th and Sunday, August 30th at Zanolini Nursery and Country Shop. Come out for all the food and fun, including garlic farmers, crafters, and vendors, live music, delicious food, Chinese auction, garlic eating contest, and more. Zanolini Nursery and Country Shop is located at St. John's Road in Drums. For info, call 788-3152 or check out ZanoliniNursery.net. And finally, the Nescapec State Park will be holding a star party Saturday, August 29th at 8 p.m. This program is hosted by the Greater Hazleton Area Astronomical Society and will be checking out stars using telescopes. Registration is required for this free event by calling 570-403-2006. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of Marion Fallon Bicking of Williamstown. Memorial Mass is Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Church of the Incarnation in New Jersey. Burial will follow in the Winona Cemetery. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is James Sicchetti of Freeland. James, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Big week as Hot and Stinky Garlic Festival coming up, plus our football previews begin tomorrow with Marion Catholic. Check that out and more on FYI. Until then, take it easy, everyone.